Welcome and thanks for joining us on EMII.com. I'm Caitlin Sisney with your hedge fund headlines. Today is Thursday, March 13th, 2008. Hedge funds are expected to be cropping up in Korea in greater numbers as the government has announced plans to deregulate the securities industry. According to Korea Times, last year, Hana D2 Securities and its unit in Singapore, OPVS Investment Holdings, HFG Investments, which invest in hedge funds, became the first in the country to produce an alternative product. In addition, Korea Investment Holdings has teamed up with U.S.-based Atlas Capital Management to form K-Atlas Advisors in Singapore and has launched the K-Atlas Fund. In Korea's Gore Investments and Securities plans to spend $100 million to roll out a global hedge fund in Singapore in June. Staying with hedge fund news, the hedge fund launched by former Vice President Al Gore's Generation Investment Management will close to new investors once it reaches $5 billion. Gore and co-founder David Blood explained that the firm's global equity fund couldn't manage more than $5 billion. The fund invests in environmentally friendly companies. And in other hedge fund news, fans of private equity made a pitch for the sector at a House Telecommunications and Internet Subcommittee hearing on Tuesday. But apparently it wasn't enough to sway Committee Chairman Ed Markey. The parade of PE proponents either defended the industry or praised it. Still, Markey announced that his subcommittee would step up scrutiny of deals in the telecom and communications sector with the belief he will uncover certain inconsistencies that otherwise would not have been revealed. And in more hedge fund news, the topsy-turvy market has another surprise. This time around, it's broken with tradition of, as the U.S. economy goes, so goes commodities. Talk of recession in the U.S. has not led to a rush from the sector, as it has been the case historically. CEO of Dawn Day Quantum, Mark Mathias, said in an interview with Dow Jones Newswires, quote, "If I was a day trader, I probably would have taken some of my money from the commodities table by now, but long-term investors see the recovery in demand that's due, and therefore not overly worried about the U.S. slowdown." Part of the reason may be that the global economic decline isn't as pronounced as some had expected, notes Mathias, adding that based on supply and demand, the commodities are behaving today no differently than the previous 15 to 20-year cycle. And that rounds out today's hedge fund headlines. Thanks for joining us on EMII.com. For more details on these stories and much more, click on our hedge fund channel online and read the latest developments.